I'm Blazanne and I'm going to be sharing the basics of business branding and how to brand your Instagram profile. At the end of the video, I'll also be answering the questions you guys have been sending me on Instagram about branding and telling you all my answers. Okay, welcome to my business branding webinar. I'm going to be sharing all my little tips and tricks with you, and then at the end, I've just realised I'm in the way of the PowerPoint. I'm too big, I don't fit anywhere. Let's just make myself smaller so you can see the text. Okay, now you can see what I'm going to be teaching you. And at the end, like I was saying before, I'll be answering all your questions, which you guys have been sending me for the past couple of weeks on Instagram and other platforms. So let's get straight in. Oh, shock, I'm in the way again. Okay, when I talk about visual brand identity, what I mean is the visual elements of your brand or business, such as colour, design, and logo. So your logo is the main identity of your business. When people see that, they know immediately what you are and what you do. Your colour palette are obviously the colour that you use, and your font styles are the fonts that you use. So you should have those three things in place, and if you don't, you need to get them in place. What the hell are you doing? Okay, let's start with your logo. So if you have a logo already, the colours and fonts of your logo will become your brand fonts and brand colours. If you don't, then you can create them and start from scratch and play around, which is really fun. I absolutely love designing things for like businesses. It's just so much easier to do it yourself when you know your business inside out. If you were to do it for someone else, you have to first ingest all their business information, who they are, what they do, who their audience is, etc. So all of those things you need to think about when you're creating your logo. I won't go into depth about that now because that's a whole nother lesson. But you need to have different variations of formats of your logo. For example, abbreviated versions, different size versions. So a usual logo will have kind of like this bit actually at the top. It will have a little image or design and then the writing, the name of the business. So sometimes people like to abbreviate it. So instead of that saying logo, that might say LG, and it might get rid of the design here. So really to abbreviate it down so it goes on to things in a more subtle way. But there are so many different ways you can do this. You can have lots of different variations. You can have longer versions of your logo, more detailed versions, or way shortened down versions. So for example, my permanent makeup business, Blinking Beauty, is a rectangle shape, and sometimes it doesn't fit on certain things I'm creating. And if I want to like print it onto a t-shirt, I think I'd prefer more of a circle logo or a square one to go on one side rather than the awkward rectangle. So you can abbreviate it down. So I would put BB for Blinking Beauty and change the shape and things like that. You also need your logo to be able to turn into a watermark / lettermark. So that means something that's going to go over your images so that people can't steal them. So I'm sure you all remember from at school when you're on Google and you copy and paste an image and it sometimes says Shutterstock on it. So that means that that company owns the image and you can't steal it. So it's kind of like a basic version of that. You're never going to be able to stop people from stealing your images, but if you have a watermark on there, people are much less likely to do so. And I know some of you are probably thinking, I know people that can take watermarks off of images like really easily so they can use them. Yeah, you're not going to be able to avoid that unless you do it like super professionally, but it will really stop majority of people doing it because not everyone knows how to take watermarks off of images. I haven't got a clue. So it will really whittle that percentage of people that are weird and like to steal things down. So I'm talking about images of your work. So for me, it would be my treatment images, things that people can post on their own website or Instagram and pretend it's theirs. So I would always stick my watermark on just to try and deter and prevent people from taking my stuff. And you should do that too, because we all know how common it is on Instagram to see the same picture of lashes posted on 20 different people's pages when none of them have actually done them and they've come from someone else. It's really rude when people do it. It's so awful, and it makes your brand look crap because audience is not stupid. They take things in and they have seen them before and they will know it's not your work, or they'll know it's someone else's work. And you know that you've created a really good and reputable brand when someone messages you saying, I've just seen this picture of your brows on someone else's page, like just thought I'd let you know. And you're like, oh, See, they know it's my work. It's got my logo on it and it's got my like whole branding vibe on it. That's the aim of the game, basically. I'm going to stop talking about that. Okay, logo variation. So here is what I was saying. Here I have my logo and it has a transparent background. So these formats are called PNG formats. So basically anything that goes behind, you'll be able to see straight through and see the background. So I've copied and pasted it onto my treatment image here, and you can see straight through to the background. Even if I moved it into the middle, you'd still be able to see through to what I was showing you. So if I changed this pink background here to a green background, you would see green all the way through. So that's how you can create a watermark. You set your logo as a PNG format. However, you sometimes will need different colors of your logo. For instance, I've got my dark color and my light color, and that's because if this image was darker, the writing saying Blinking Beauty would not be readable or visible. So I have both versions in case I have different colored images and one's not visible on top. So you should have different variations of color so that you can switch it onto different backgrounds. Font types. So you need to be choosing 1 to 3 fonts. 1 to 2 is more than enough. Even stick to 1 if you don't want 3 or 2. And do not switch between different fonts. This is noticeable. You might not think it is, and you might one day see a font that you think, oh, that's so nice. If it's not your font, don't use it. What I mean by your font is just the font that you've chosen to represent your brand. I don't expect people to make their own fonts. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm sure it is. Okay, so you create and test your fonts. So once you have like played around with some fonts, you can go on Word and have a look at some, or you can go for like a better software, just have a Google. There will be loads of sites that can help you. Choose a few that go nicely together and test them. So just like you would, remember when we all used to, sorry, just a side thought. Remember we used to write our signatures? This might just be a me thing. No, I'm sure it's not. Practice your signature when you're a kid and like, oh, what way do I want to write it? No, I prefer it like that, I prefer it like that. And in the end, it just was a massive scribble, but yeah. So test it just like you used to test your signature before you decided to stick to it. Now, you don't change your signature every other week, do you? You have to keep it the same so people know it's you. The same with your business. Keep the fonts the same so people know it's you. So play around with which ones looks nice together and then check the legibility. So if I just go back, for example, beauty is in the swirly writing, but it's still easily readable. If you're going for something that's really pretty and really swirly, but it's too swirly and people can't read it, that's pretty much useless because people can't read it. So don't go for something too swirly or too thin. Make sure it's a little bit bold. And then you need to make sure your creations are kept consistent. You're going to hear me say the word consistent like 5,000 times, but it is the main thing about branding. So yeah, don't change your fonts. Keep them in everything you create. Flyers, logos, loyalty cards, Instagram posts, on your website. Yeah, everything. Okay, your color palette. This is my favorite part. Who doesn't love color? I sound so stupid. Who doesn't love colour? Okay, choose 3 to 4 colours and stick to them. Do not switch between different shades. It's obvious. People are going to know. Create and test them. So the same as you would do with your fonts. I'll show you how to do that in a second with colour palettes. So say if you really like the colour green, you don't just want to say in your head, I like dark emerald green is going to be my brand colour. No, you need to know exactly what shade of emerald green, and you need to know what other colours go nicely with it and test them against each other. So you also need to embrace colour theory. I know some of you are like, ugh, colour theory, but it is important because with anything you're selling or business or promoting, you kind of do need to know like the tiniest bit of colour theory. So I'm going to use red as an example. Personally, I might think of red as angry, it means stop, traffic lights, danger, everything bad. So I might think I'm not going to use that on my branding, but I could be wrong. If I go into Google and type in what does red mean, or red colour theory, lots of people say that it means love, embracing, erotic. No, weird. Excitement. I don't know, I haven't Googled it yet, but I'm sure that's what it says. So yeah, you just need to, don't rule colours out, and then if you choose a colour, just cross-check it with Google, well, not Google, cross-check it with color theorists to see whether it's good color to use to match your brand. And again, keep creations consistent. Consistency is key. Everyone knows that. Don't change, don't switch between different shades. Like I said, know exactly which color you're using and stick the hell to them. Okay, let me just pause this for a moment. So this is one of my favorite color palette generators. So if you don't already have a color palette or you want a new one, you can go to www.colors.co. Colors? It's spelled so strange. So that is the correct spelling up here. COOLORS. And it's .co, not .co.uk. So I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, she's missed that .co.uk out. I haven't, it's .co. Trending color palettes. Let's click play. You can have a browse of all these different color palettes. There are so many. I could look at this forever. Okay, once you see one you like, you can click on the 3 dots and open it in the generator. And it's going to give you the colors. You can delete a few if you just want to play around with 2 or 3 for now while you get your color palette done. And then you can click this little button to change the shades, have a little browse. And if you like it, click the lock button and that locks the color in. Move it around to see if it goes with the other colors. And then at the bottom, it shows you their hex codes. So these are how you stick to that particular color and not just say, I've chosen beige or what other colors, taupe or mushroom. You need to know these numbers. So go to that site and have a fiddle around. Okay, once you've got your color palettes and your fonts, you need to start branding your gram. So I'm going to be talking about how to add branding to your Instagram because I need to narrow it down, otherwise you'd be on this webinar for 500 days. So you need to use the customizable features to brand your Instagram. I see so many people not doing this and I'm like, what the hell? Surely you need to add colors to your Instagram to make it look more like a website rather than your personal Instagram, for example. It's kind of the way that I differentiate business profiles to normal profiles because you can see straight away how they're trying to represent themselves. We put more effort and time into it. So you can do this to your profile picture, your highlight covers, and your bio, like so. So here I have added my brand colors and my brand identity, which is my face, to my profile picture. I've also, oh my God, there we go. I've also added my brand colors to my highlights. So this is basically my color palette pasted into the highlights, but I've done a little gradient effect on it, which I'm kind of going off. I might change that soon. And here you need to add your brand colors. You don't have to actually, this is just if you want to. So if you've got emojis in your bio, use them to your advantage and choose an emoji which is your brand color. So I screenshotted this off of my desktop, so it's making the emoji come up weird, but it's the one where the girl's at the laptop and she's wearing a mauve purpley top, so it goes with my brand colors. So you could choose, I don't know, there's loads of hearts emojis which are all different colors. They've got the shapes which are all different colors. So yeah, or even just an emoji that represents, say if you were a fitness business or an eyelash business, you could choose the little running guy or you could choose the eye. Yeah, so just use everything you can on Instagram to brand it, because just why would you not? Right. Also, you can brand your posts. So when I talk about your posts, I mean the way your feed looks on your own profile. So you can create branded graphics/infographics to strengthen your visual brand identity. So in your posts, you can use your color palette and fonts to make designs. And you can also, in your stories, IGTVs, reels, add brand colors to those as well. So if you're not doing that, you probably should, because it's not enough just to have brand colors in your profile top section. You want it all the way through your feed. That's what people are looking at. So,
how to create.
Oh, wait. This is going to show you, have I skipped? No, I haven't. So this is going to, shush Blaze. This is going to show you how to create, she's already said it, branded Instagram stories. So like I said before, you can also use this in your reels and IGTVs, etc. It's basically adding text and changing the color to your brand palette, brand color palette. So here I'm going to show you how I'll stop talking when I click play.
How to create branded Instagram stories. Create a story and take a snap. Click on the face, scroll down to the photo button, choose your colour palette from your camera roll, type something, click on the multicoloured image, select your colour, and don't forget to delete your colour palette after. Done!
So, screenshot your colour palette, save it to your camera roll. Whenever you put something on your story, access your camera roll and then select the colours from your colour palette, change your captions, then delete it. Simple. Okay, so when I say Instagram feed, this is what I mean. My Instagram feed is full of my colour palette. It's way too pink. I need to change. I might do a rebrand soon. I've never looked at it like this before. Gosh. Okay. So all you can see here is my brand fonts, my brand font everywhere. And then you can see my brand colours everywhere and my brand image, which looks like I'm obsessed with myself, but I'm not. I'm just trying to build my brand identity. If you're not someone that has yourself on your business page, absolutely fine. You can use like your logo instead, or a specific design of your logo, like the shapes, or some people have like recycling, for example. I'm trying to think of examples for you. Recycling, we know, is like the green arrow thing. They would have that on like most of their posts to pick up their brand identity in each thing. So you don't need to use your face, but it does build a good connection with your audience, and in turn turns into make some more sales, but I'm not going to go into that. Branded graphics. So let me just go back. These are all graphics I've created, and that's the only way you can get really your brand colors and brand identity into your designs. So my advice is to start creating branded graphics. They're sometimes called infographics, which is literally what it says, informational graphics. Why are they important? They make you memorable because you're giving away information in a graphic or telling someone something on Instagram, which is a platform usually. It started off just for images and then videos, but now a lot of businesses or creators are using it to provide information and education. So it makes you way more memorable if you're creating things like that. It attracts customers because you are promoting your brand and pushing your brand, so they start to feel like they know you. So in turn, that builds trust with your audience. They feel like they know you. If you just don't have a very good brand identity, people aren't quite sure of who you are, what you're about. When I say who, I mean your business. It makes you stand out from the crowd because not everyone is creating branded graphics, infographics, or like pushing a strong visual brand on Instagram. So if you are doing that and another business, say your competitors aren't, people are going to go to you instead. Like, it's proven fact of the psychology of sales. Like, yeah, you'll notice it when you start doing it. When I started really focusing on my branding, it was in the very first lockdown. When I was able to open up for the first time, I was completely fully booked. Like, I had so many new clients. I thought, where are all these people coming from? And they all mentioned my Instagram. Oh, your Instagram's great. Instagram's really professional. Who does your Instagram? Literally, I just spent a lockdown focusing on it and making it branded, and that's the effect it had. So builds credibility with your audience, which is exactly a proof of what happened to me. It makes people think you are probably more professional than you are, maybe, or just as professional as you are, which is probably the case with you. So it's also a constructive way to share information. Like I said before, you can share text as a picture. So if you've got any information, announcements, things like that, it's a really good way to share it on Instagram. Also, if people are saving your posts on Instagram rather than liking them, or saving them and liking them, it means that people want to follow you and you're sharing content that resonates or is really useful to people. So that's literally the aim with your business on Instagram, is to create things that people want to keep consuming. So infographics are a great way to do that. And then grow your following. It will happen. Wait, it will happen simultaneously. Okay, so if I haven't already persuaded you to create your own branded graphics, then I'm going to tell you in this reel that I made on Instagram. I actually can't speak. You may or may not have seen. So, why create your own infographics? Let's have a watch.
The things I used to post on my beauty business Instagram. I didn't realise I was promoting other people's brand instead of my own. Here's what I post on Instagram now. I am promoting my own brand and my Instagram has an individual personality.
Love that tune. So let me just explain a little bit more in detail. So at the start, when I first trained and first jumped on Instagram to promote my business, before I even had a website and everything, I was sharing posts that my training academy had given to me and everyone else that trained with them to share on Instagram to help promote ourselves. I was really grateful for these, but little did I know or realise that firstly, these are all branded with the company called Nouveau, who I trained with in lashes. All over it, you can see at the bottom, Nouveau lashes. Next one, Nouveau lashes. Next one, Nouveau lashes. All in their brand colours and their brand fonts. So all I was doing really was posting stuff that loads of other people on Instagram were posting, because Nouveau's a massive training academy, so loads of people have trained with them, therefore have their branding. I looked like everyone else. It looked naff. It looked like I didn't have my own identity, and I was just promoting Nouveau rather than Blinking Beauty. So then I realised, I can actually create my own and I can put my own branding on it. So people started seeing me as way more professional and established. And it looks better on your feed because you need a branded feed. Okay, now I'm going to move on to your questions. I wrote these down so I don't forget them. So the first question was, how do I get a colour palette? So exactly how I've shown you. Go to that website, colours, whatever you want to call it. Have a play around. There's loads of different generators if you don't like that one. That's how you do it. It's simple and easy. Copy your hex codes and keep them safe so that you're not switching between shades. Okay, next one. Should I be creating graphics? Yes, you bloody should. Why? Because I just told you why. Build your brand, get more followers, get more clients, make more money. It's really simple. How can I promote my business while still being personal? Okay, so you want to promote your business, but maybe you don't want too much of your face on there, or you don't want to sound too unprofessional. I think that's what you mean. So, like I said before, you don't need to put your face or film yourself on your social media channels, website, etc. You can just create an identity and a personality through your branding rather than your face. So your branding basically becomes your face, and like the clothes of your business is the way I like to explain it. So you need to also think about what your brand voice is, how people explain it. So the way you talk to your clients, if you're quite professional and straight to the point, like rigid, and you know what you're talking about, all of that. Or if you want to be more relatable, personable, a bit more funny and jokey. So with your captions, any announcements you write, they all need to be written in that sort of way. In turn, you'll attract the client that is either quite a professional person or likes professionalism, or someone who's quite bubbly and friendly and likes to be more relaxed and chilled in an environment. So yeah, really think about your audience first and then build your brand around your audience to suit them. Being personal doesn't mean having to have your face on it. You can just do it with your branding. So create your personality through your branding. Next one. Do you have any tips for designing business cards? Yes, I do. My main tip, other than putting everything on there, branded, your fonts, your colour palette, your logo, make sure that it is really easy and clear to read. So have a lot of blank space on the card. Don't fill it with too much stuff. Really simplify everything. Don't forget to include your contact details. So any of your socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else you have. Your contact details, your phone number, your mobile number. Do people even have phone numbers, like home phone numbers anymore? Maybe big businesses, yeah. Gosh, I have not used my home phone in like a decade. Email address, obviously all the stuff you already know. So I meant to be talking about the designing, I'm going off topic. Keep it really clear, use your branding, use 2 sides, so it saves you money and it's way more effective. So on the front you could have your contact details, and then on the back you could have, like, if you're treatment based, a loyalty card on the back. So then it entices people to come to you to come and get their treatment, because they know after 5 treatments they're going to get £10 off or whatever. So yeah. Next question. I hired a graphic design company for my website, but do I need one for my social media? Hell no! They're too expensive. If you've got the money and no time, then crack on, but you can do it yourself. Honestly, I am proof of that. And I think my Instagram looks okay, and I do get compliments on my Instagram from you guys, and now I teach it. So take it from me, you don't need a company to do that. You can do it yourself. You just need to have a brand kit and start designing. If you need more help with that, I have created my course called Brand Your Biz, which is open for enrolment actually today. Really exciting. But yeah, I'll go into detail about that in a second. Oh, hello. Oh, I think Fudge wanted to come say hi. Excuse me, that's my microphone. Yeah, so you can literally do it all yourself. You just need to know, oh God, Fudge. You just need to know the ways to do it. It's really cheap and easy. Excuse me, I'm just going to put him on the floor. As I was saying, you don't need to learn things like Photoshop or pay loads of money to be able to make designs. You just need to know a little bit of the skill. So, one thing I would say, if you have had your, what did it say, website, you've had your website designed, you've probably already got a logo and things like that. So you can literally hear Fudge's claws. He needs them cut. That's so bad. It's like, sorry if you can hear that. You need to ask them if you can have your hex codes from your logo, or I can show you how to do that. It's in the course, but I can actually show you as well. So just drop me a DM and I'll show you how you can find the hex codes from your logo. How can I brand my business when I'm not techie or design minded? Again, like I said before, easily, I can show you how, or you can Google it and maybe spend a long time trying to find out how, which is what happened to me. But that's why I've created the course. So if people want to fast track that problem, then come to me. Do I need to buy expensive programs? No, you do not. Sorry, I know I've answered these in my answers from before, but you don't need an expensive program. You really don't. There's loads that are really decent price, loads that are free. You just need to use like a mixture of different programs, and they're like foolproof. Like a kid could use them. I'm surprised they're not already using them in primary school, like to design. I just really want to share with you guys all the stuff, but I'm going to run out of time. Next one. I struggle with narrowing down my brand colour ideas and changing my mind. Me too. It's like I said before, I'm sick of these pinks now. It's so hard to choose a brand colour palette or brand identity and stick to it, because having your brand identity is like creating a personality for your business. And if it's your business, all you can think about is like your personality and how can you represent yourself with one colour palette. Like your mood changes every day. The one tip I would give is to try and take a step back from yourself and forget about your personality and take a step forward into your business and your audience. So think about them and what they like to look at, what they like to see, what they like to Google, the other accounts they like. And obviously do not copy, that's so not good. But take on their whole thought process, become them for a little bit, and then imagine how they like to interact with businesses and what they like to look at, and become that person. That's the best way I can explain it. Don't get too caught up on colours. Like I know for you personally, your brand identity is going to be a massive deal because it's how you're like presenting yourself to someone. It's like the clothes you wear to an interview, for example. You care so much. But the person on the other end isn't looking into depth at what you're wearing or what colour it is. They're looking at the overall image. So they're looking at whether you look professional or fun or friendly. if you get what I mean. So yeah, and you can rebrand, just don't do it too often because you'll lose your identity completely. Yeah, I think that's answered all your questions. So if you are interested and you want to know more, I have created an online course called Brand Your Biz. It is for beauty professionals or business owners who have their own business that they want to promote online. The waitlist is now closed because it has gone live, and it is live for this week. The doors will close Monday the 23rd of March, which is next Tuesday, and there is only space for 10 students. So if you want to be one of them, go to the link in my bio on my Instagram and you can sign up. On this access page, you'll find out all about it and what it is and how it works and what free bonuses are in there, so I won't bore you on it now. But yeah, I would love you to become one of my students, but if not, I share loads of helpful tips on my Instagram, so keep an eye on that all the time. I'm always sharing stuff. Thanks for watching. Oh, and before you go, these are some examples of infographics which my students who are on my course have created for their own businesses, so they are fully branded. And the next one. So this guy runs his own PT business. So these infographics that actually have animations in as well. So these are really cool. And another nutrition-based company all about vegan food. So yeah, these are everything they created from the course, and they now have their unique brand identity. So that's the sort of thing I mean when I say give yourself a visual brand identity. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram for way more branding tips.